a very wet, windy and wild Wilderspool tonight as Halifax looked for the first points of the season against a Warrington side who started confidently, beating Leeds away on the opening day. Suffered at the hands of Wigan over the Easter period, and one thing maybe in Halifax's favour is the thought that Workington managed to score 30 points despite losing here over the Easter period, and Halifax 3 defeats. They've come close against the Broncos and Castleford, but not close enough so far, going down 34 points to 30 at Tramall on Tuesday night in front of the Sky cameras. They're here again this evening, and the conditions are diabolical, made even worse by an academy game played prior to this first team game, but the conditions perhaps more suited to Halifax. Pace in the backs, but a few more big men, and it is Halifax who have kicked off, and Warrington coming out with the first set of 6. That's Mark Hilton. It's Gary Chambers with a headband. This is Mark Hilton. There's 3 men in on him. There's a lot of clean shirts at the moment, but there won't be in the next 80 minutes. Paul Cullen, the Warrington captain, being forced towards the touchline by Abby Okoku. Linesman at that side, again making sure Okoku gets up quickly. And Halifax, only Warrington in their own half for the first set of 6. And the kick down towards Amanga. Warrington looking to the outside where there's a bit of more green grass to make the ball travel a bit further. And Amanga comes back centre field to be tackled by Knott and Chambers. Now Okoku coming inside looking for the ball. Carl Harrison away from the first man, making 10. Mark Perritt, first start this season, impressed in the Alliance team. Coming back after injury, suffered a dead leg a couple of weeks ago. But Sims forced into changes again with the loss of Anderson and Alice for 2 games each suspended by the disciplinary committee. Dean looking a kick, puts it back inside to Amanga. He too looks for the greener grass on the outside. Nobody back there for Warrington, so it'll go into touch just inside the Warrington quarter. And the first scrum will form. Neither pack in a rush to get down. Shelford at scrum half. Mark Ford, of course, signed for Wakefield yesterday. That's a good break by Penny. Had a long stay away from the game with injury, did Lee Penny, but he's coming back looking more like a forward. And there's plenty of power coming into the line from full-back. Ian Knott, John Huff acting half. Warrington looking to move it out wide, looking for the firmer ground on the outside. Toa Coe Love, just over halfway for Warrington. Brought down by Moriarty. Mark Hilton sliding a metre after the tackle was made. Warrington on the attack again, switching the play. Line ball. Baldwin it is that gets back. He's coming back after a rib injury. It's Simon Baldwin, but Warrington are keeping it moving. And Penny's there to take Warrington within 18 metres of the Halifax line. Shelford from acting half. Moves it out to Matissa Maffei. The kick over the top, just too much weight behind it. Travels dead in the far corner, so it'll come back for the tap on the 20 metre line. And Jackson, the first man in, but a wall of Warrington defenders. 5 there in that shot. Few too many for referee Stuart Cummins' likings. It's quickly taken by Southernwood, and Southernwood darts up the middle back towards halfway. Jackson to Southernwood, looking for the support. Perritt on the centre spot. Sculthorpe wrapping him up with John Huff. Moana from acting half to Moriarty. Southernwood to the outside to Asaramone. Warrington holding out in defence. Halifax moving forward with purpose, using the tackles well. Now looking to move it out. Tackle again on Martin Moana. 2 tries against Castleford. Martin Moana on Tuesday. But Stuart Cummins seeing a bit of an infringement there as Moana tried to play the ball. Not standing for any messing. And Carl Harrison will give Schuster the chance to put the first points on the board. From 27-28 metres out. Schuster 8 goals this season. Halifax record point scorer. Solid enough on Tuesday against Castleford despite the defeat. Looking for the first points for Halifax. And as you would expect, there's not many people here this evening. There are probably 50 or 60 supporters who were making some noise before the game in favour of Halifax. Very bleak conditions as the sleet turns to snow. Hardly what you'd call summer rugby, but Schuster from 27 metres out misses. It's gone to the right hand side and it's Ian Knott that will come away with it. So Schuster obviously having a bit of trouble in the conditions, kicking for goal. The first points go begging for Halifax. It normally would be easy for Schuster in front of the post. Harrison with the chase on Cullen, the Warrington captain. Moana drags him down eventually. Cullen playing for the penalty but not getting it. Mark Hilton driving strongly into Harrison and Moriarty. John Huff to Gary Chambers. Chambers making good yards. John Huff happy just to put it into touch for Warrington. Well, the scrum will form just inside the Halifax half. Almost 10 minutes gone. Moana trying to shrug off Toa Love. Ian Knott in to make sure Moana doesn't get the ball away. Baldwin the return to Dean, out to Amanga, and Amanga brought down by Cullen. And Shelford just inside the Warrington half. Baldwin looking to get a better grip, running wide on the outside but only making 5 or 6 metres. Dean, good ball back inside to Harrison, but he's well marked. Southernwood using the blind side. Moriarty wrapped up by Toa Love and Mark Hilton. Southernwood trading kicks with John Huff down by that Warrington try line. So Halifax making good use of the tackles, forcing Warrington back. And now they've got to come up with the hard work and try and keep them there. As Shelford feeds from the back of the scrum. And bringing in Matissa Maffei, replacing Celeste Finau, dropped after the defeat at Central Park. Good tackle in there by Baldwin. Mark Hilton running to the Halifax forwards are there again. Wayne Jackson and Carl Harrison, and that time now Warrington tried to move it out wide. Good ball back inside to Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe tackled by Moriarty. Cullen, bit of a wild pass. Hilton picks it up, takes it forward. Jackson in his way. Halifax containing Warrington in their own half of the field, so it'll go back for the kick to Yestin Harris, and he drops it down to Amanga, and Amanga will bring it back, but it's a good chase by Harris, Sculthorpe and Shelford on the Halifax fullback. Dean to Okoku. plenty of speed of Koku, but you don't see many men getting up speed in those conditions. Sutherland turns it back inside. Good pass out to Schuster. Put it in at the acting half position. First touch for Tuolangi. Halifax look to the left hand side again. Amanga not expecting it, gets it away to Baldwin. Harrison down the middle. But Stuart Cummins said it was a forward pass. Well, I'm not so sure about that. It'll take a replay to sort that one out. Baldwin doing well to pick it up after the pass from Amanga was almost put to ground. But Warrington with the possession, and Lee Penny with that extra weight, brushing away the first two attempted tacklers. Finally put to ground by Paul Moriarty. Chambers with the headband into Amone, and Southernwood just a metre from the far touchline. John Huff looking for the quick play from acting half. Run round, long ball out wide, and Warrington may have a chance on this side. Ian not trying to go through. Good tackling by Schuster. But Warrington again looking to play it quickly. Matisse Maffei trying to step out of the tackle of Schuster. Moana puts him down. And Moana with a wry smile on his face suggests that he's forced the error, which Stuart Cummins agrees with. Maffei just knocking the ball forward as he went down. Just trying to step out of the tackle, lost the grip of the football. So it'll be Halifax scrum on their quarter line. Dean looks for the blind side, has to get away from Stuart Cummins first. And it's Hilton and John Huff that have broken off the scrum very quickly to make that tackle. Now Wayne Jackson. Cullen and Chambers waiting for him. Sutherland to Harrison. Trying to get up and play it quickly. Hand on him, making sure he doesn't. Moriarty putting the shoulder down over halfway. And Roy Sutherland waits at the back impatiently. Now Halifax look to move it wide. Schuster, great ball to Simon Baldwin, out to Tuolangi. Tuolangi makes it to the Warrington 20 metre line. It's the fifth tackle. And Moana looks for the crossfield kick, which goes backwards. Okoku underneath it, flips it back inside. Linesman on that far side, wave play on, but Asaramone just knocking it forward with the fingertips. Although Okoku perhaps lucky with a bounce that it came straight back up. And Cullen, the Warrington captain, into Perry. John Huff playing it quickly. Mark Hilton running forward, shrugs off two. Schuster gets back to bring Hilton down, but he's made 15 metres into the Halifax half with a good run. And now Warrington with Shelford stepping inside. But Halifax will be penalised for offside. Warrington will get the first penalty. And Harris perhaps will go for goal from this position. Well, despite the conditions, there's been some good handling, and it's been end-to-end stuff in the opening 15 minutes. Just the one chance to Schuster with a penalty, which he put to the right-hand side. And Yestin Harris will now try and put Warrington's first points on the board with a penalty from 22 metres out, 10 or 11 metres to the right-hand side of the post. Just on the outer reaches of the muddy area is Yestin Harris, but he's managed to get it through the middle. And Harris, after 15 minutes, puts Warrington into the lead by 2 points to 0. Halifax will, of course, receive the possession from the kick-off. And it's a kick deep down towards the post, trying to catch Halifax off guard. There was a foot there. There'll be an appeal for offside against Amanga, but 3 Halifax players stood in a line at the back of the in-goal area. Jackson is swamped by 3. So Halifax need to get out of trouble, and they're not going to do with some tenacious Warrington defending. Moriarty makes it just over the 20-metre line. Good run by the Welshman. Southernwood quickly up from acting half, looking for a way through. Shelford and Chambers put him down eventually. Good yards made by Southernwood up towards halfway, and Craig Dean pops one down, which Lee Penny looks at cautiously before trying to pick it up. And he's tackled by Martin Moana and Carl Harrison. Matisse Maffei. Harrison again with the tackle. Halifax, of course, starting as underdogs tonight. They won here last season, which was the first win in almost 10 years at Wilderspool. They came close the season before with a draw. But the 2 points they need tonight to get them away from that scramble at the bottom of the table. Harris looking at Cummins, hopefully for the penalty. That's a good kick. It's forced Schuster back. There's a scramble, but it'll be the linesman's call as to who gets the possession at the scrum, and it's gone to Halifax, and the Warrington supporters don't agree with the decision. But it was a scramble. It was a good kick. They put in Richard Henare, the New Zealander who signed from Carlisle, into space. Schuster threw himself at the ball, and Amanga drives it out for Asaramoni, driving it out. Now it's Amanga trying to go forward. Gary Chambers' left arm looked a little bit high on that occasion. Jackson, he looked round for support there at Jackson, nobody in the back of him. Southernwood, Harrison turns it back inside to Baldwin, looking to release. Ian Knott comes in to snuff out the danger, and John Huff, the Warrington hooker. Carl Harrison, strong run, good tackle by Cullen. Southernwood from acting half on the 5th tackle, looks for the space behind Lee Penny, but the conditions not allowing the ball to run very far away from the Warrington fullback. But good chasing. The tackle's made just outside the Warrington 20-metre area. And just under 20 minutes gone, and Warrington leading by that Yestin Harris penalty. And they're going to get another one here, holding down on Mark Hilton. Harris will deposit the ball into touch on that far side, and the penalty will come on halfway. Gary Chambers makes 7 or 8. Moriarty with Amoni making the tackle. Hilton going forward, appeals for the high tackle. Southernwood this time with the arm up a little high, but getting away with it. John Huff moving it out quickly, switching the play. Harris stepping off the mark, looking to go forward, releases to Shelford. That looked forward, but Forster will continue, tries to get up. He's having more success than Asaramoni, who's down in back play. And Warrington progressing forward again towards the Halifax line. John Huff to Harris, long ball out there, the kick through from Shelford to the corner. Amanga will let it run dead. Forster claimed it had been touched by Amanga, rather forlornly on that occasion. The ball had travelled out before Forster was anywhere near it. Twilanga, cleanest of the Halifax players, who's only his 2nd or 3rd touch. Okoku driving forward, he's being used as the extra forward, while Halifax set up the next position with Harrison. Brushes Cullen away but loses it. So that will give the possession to Warrington. Halifax spilling it early on the tackle count. Carl Harrison perhaps thinking a move ahead, just putting it to ground, so it'll give Warrington the possession just inside the Halifax half. And the scrum is there at the second attempt. Sculthorpe, and it comes out to Richard Henare. Schuster all over him, very close to that touchline. Harrison quickly acting half. 2 knot, an ankle tap sufficient to bring Ian Knott to ground. Warrington looking to play it quickly, expansive rugby. Harris looking for the gap, gets the pass away. Good one-handed take from Sculthorpe. But a good tackle from Sutherwood and Moriarty. Chambers running off the short ball into Sutherwood and Baldwin. Warrington now just 12 metres away from the Halifax line. Perhaps the crossfield kick from Shelford or Harris, but they decide to run it. The long cut out pass, and Harry does well to pick it up. But Schuster does well to bring him down. Watching this side very closely is John Schuster. Now Harris with the kick. No danger as Moriarty picks it up. And 3 Warrington defenders trying to push him back over his own line unsuccessfully. Amanga comes up from acting half. Sutherwood losing his footing under the Halifax post. Milton there patrolling that area anyway. Assaramone. Tackled by the Warrington captain Cullen. Carl Harrison. Sculthorpe and Knott all over him. Trying to bury his head in the field there, I think. Just shaking his head a bit, Carl Harrison. Now Mark Perry. Defences on top at the moment. Back on the last tackle to Craig Dean, looking for the space, but it just sits up nicely for Lee Penny. He'll bring it back for Warrington. 10 metres from halfway. Forster fancies a run from acting half. Forster and Cullen, of course, I think about 50 years service between them at Wilderspool. They've both been here a long time. Long ball out again, good tackling again by Schuster, this time on Maffey. Henare from acting half, Schuster up very quickly, allowing Henare a little bit of a gap. And Henare has made a couple of metres despite having Carl Harrison around him. Harris to Shelford, good movement, but the ball coming loose. Amanga picks it up for Halifax. Amone dumped to the ground with a big tackle by Mark Hilton. Jackson pushes away John Huff. Jackson still going forward, has room. Penny comes forward to meet him. Good man and ball tackle, but a good run by Jackson. Moana, Schuster, Twilangi he tried to release Twilangi, and Harry playing football with it back into the Halifax half. Among it is that will pick it up eventually for Halifax. They'll get 6 more. Schuster trying to release Twilangi with a kick over the top. The defence up very quickly. Perry over halfway. John Huff just managing to keep hold of the ankles. Sutherwood from acting half to Dean. Moriarty coming back in field, thinking about the pass as it was going down. Sutherwood, short ball to Harrison. Harrison away from 2, looking for the support. Nobody there for Carl Harrison. But Halifax pressing forward. Moana the run round with Dean. Dean looking for the gap. None there, closed up by Knott and Hoff. Baldwin, perhaps now a chance. Baldwin puts it forward, but it's Maffey that comes up with it. And Maffey standing up looking for support. Nobody coming forward to take the pass. Chambers into Sutherwood and Harrison, and Halifax again tried to contain Warrington. A chance here. Well, it was Moana that threw himself into the tackle in the first place, but Harris being allowed a little bit of freedom. A man that needs closing down. star player here at Warrington since the departure of Jonathan Davis is Yestin Harris. But Warrington going forward again. Shelford out to Maffey. Maffey looking back on the inside. Good tackling, it needed to be. Maffey looking to release the pass. It was Sutherwood that moved across to bring him down. Hilton running straight and hard. Gets the ball away to John Oath looking for support. Could have been a try there for Warrington. The support going on the wrong side. Don't know who it was, but Warrington are still pressing. There's a good pass. It's a wild one out. And Forster dived on it. Is he going to give the try? I don't think he is. Stuart Cummins will take a look at the video replay, but I don't think Forster got to that one. Consulting the linesman on the far side. The replay, first replay obviously showing the try, and the Warrington supporters trying to sway the decision of the third official who's looking at that replay. Even Forster, I think, had a little bit of doubt in his mind. The second replay brings an even bigger cheer, and this is the one that matters when it comes up. Everybody looking at the big screen, and the try hasn't been given, and I think Stuart Cummins knew that in the first place, and so did Mark Forster. So Warrington will tap from the 20, and it'll be taken forward by Wayne Jackson, and somebody going in over the top there, perhaps a little bit of frustration as Sutherwood plays it quickly, makes 20, and being driven back 10 of those by Chambers and John Oath. Harrison putting the shoulder down. Almost half an hour gone in the first half. Warrington leading 2-0. Perry going forward. Can't get away from Ian Knott. Sutherwood. Halifax looking to set the move up quickly. Baldwin to Schuster. Trying to step on the inside. He's taking Halifax back within sight of that Warrington 20-metre line. Twilangi from acting half looking for a gap. The pace and the power he's got, but he can't get through Shelford and Penny. A quick play might stretch Warrington here if they can get it out wide. Moana to Moriarty. Brilliant touch of class by Moriarty onto Amone. Superb touch by Moriarty, just palming it on. But again, it looks like Stuart Cummins wants to have a look at the video replay. So 2 replays in a minute as Halifax now wait to see if they can have the try at the other end. But the touch from Moriarty, the pass from Moana, and Moriarty just palming it on to Amone. And the decision made, the try has been given to Halifax. Well, perhaps the touch judge a bit of hesitation. There didn't look any doubt from where we are. And we're sat in a van at the back of Wilderspool, dispatched to the Sky equipment, unable to use the gantry. So Halifax kick off in the lead for the first time, and both teams doing well in defence, but Halifax perhaps having the edge, managing to keep Warrington in their own half for long periods of time. Although Warrington have threatened, Forster went close. And Mark Jones, the big Welshman, on for somebody, we can't see who and we can't hear the announcement, but Jones is involved again. I think Halifax have also made a substitution at the same time. Good drop off ball back inside to Sculthorpe, and Sculthorpe makes it back into the Halifax half. Appeals for the penalty, that one coming off Halifax player. But here goes Asaramone looking for his second, or Twilangi, sorry, and losing possession. Perhaps sensing the glory after he got away from the first tackler. but it didn't come and he lost possession. So Warrington will now look with the next 6 tackles to retake the lead. Shelford feeds the scrum. Sculthorpe, good ball to Anari. Schuster slowed him down, but Anari's still going over the Halifax 20 before Baldwin stopped him. Sculthorpe goes from acting half, away from one. And there's the Halifax substitute, Carl Gillespie, with his first tackle. Halifax back on their own line, long pass from Shelford out to Ian Knott. Cullen nodding, waiting at the play of the ball, looking for the next move, and it's Jones. The crash ball from the short pass from Cullen from acting half, but it's good tackling by Halifax. Long pass inside. Shelford brought down 12 metres out in front of the Halifax post. And Halifax frail in defence on the last tackle against Castleford, not so on that occasion, as Baldwin dropped down on the kick from Harris. Amone away from one, that's a great run from Asa Amone. Takes him 18 metres away from the Halifax line, it relieves the pressure a little bit. Okoko up from acting half. Warrington players stood side by side at the play of the ball there and not in line, as you should do. There's a good tackle on Jackson, he gets it away to Amone, who loses the first tackler. Coming back at the second attempt, Forster, he'd lost him the first time. Harrison driving forward, takes 3 to bring him down. Perritt, centre field, great ball to Moana, but Moana unable to keep hold of it. Almost in the clear, but Warrington back with the counter attack and looking to play it quickly with Maffey, and Maffey dancing in front of the Halifax post. So Warrington pressing again with Chambers going for the glory, 5 metres out. Harrison and Southernwood around him. Harris to Shelford, this time Shelford with the error. Just took his eye off the ball, perhaps again one move ahead. Touch of panic approaching half time, almost 40 minutes up on the clock, and Halifax leading by 4 points to 2. Gillespie out of defence, another player impressing in the Alliance team, who, unlike the senior counterparts, unbeaten this season. They beat the Warrington Alliance at Tramore last night, 50 points to 20. Southernwood from acting half. Dean to Jackson. Jackson driving forward, good run from the Halifax prop. Wayne Jackson always seeming to make yards when he has the ball. On that occasion, no exception. Moana looking for the gap, loses it backwards, but Cullen the quickest to react to that. So Forster down the middle, giving Warrington another sniff at the Halifax line just before half time. Well, Harrison gets up pleading his innocence, and I'm sure Yestin Harris will go for goal from this position. Warrington may not have the time to play out the set of 6. Being corrected, obviously the Sky cameras here, kick-off dictated by adverts and various other elements, so actually there's 3 or 4 minutes still to go in the first half. So Yestin Harris, similar position to his last attempt, which was successful. This one to tie the scores, approaching half time. Hard and straight, didn't get as much height on it, but the result was the same. So Yestin Harris with his second successful penalty on around 37 minutes ties the scores level at 4 points all. And Halifax will get the ball from the kick-off. Yestin Harris in the middle of trying to position the ball in the middle of the Warrington sandpit. That is the halfway line. Kicks off long, Amanga on his own line. Short pass to Perry. Lets him do the work out of defence. Tug of the ankle. Gillespie into Cullen. Big head-on collision there. Okoku now looking for a space on the outside. In the defence, moving across, trying to take Okoku over that touchline. But Okoku proving just a little bit too big and heavy. Ball gone backwards. Perrott looking to find an opening. Jones all over him. Sutherwood from acting half, losing the first marker into Chambers and Knott. Back for the kick on the last tackle, long and deep, and it's kicked Halifax out of pressure back into the Warrington half. And I think it was Martin Moana that kicked that one. But whoever kicked it, it's done a good job for Halifax, and it's taken Warrington back into their own half of the field with a 50-metre kick. Forster, I think, willing that one to go on the other side of the touchline. No such luck, but Warrington, as you would expect, come away with it from the scrum. And here's the kick for Henare and Maffett a chase. And Amanga, the first man back there, or Twilange, showing the speed. Well, Mark Amanga nowhere to be seen. Schuster, good play to Twilange, but not much room for him to work on this short side. Schuster inside to Dean, to Amanga. Halifax looking to play out the remaining time on the clock. And I don't think Halifax coach Steve Sims will be too unhappy going in with a 4 points to all score. A 4 points all score at half time. Harrison releases to Jackson. Jackson again is through the first man, still driving forward over halfway. Great run by Jackson. Shelford's all over him like a rash. Moana to Schuster, the kick again for Twilange to chase, but this one easily collected by Lee Penny, and he makes it back to his own 20-metre line. Forster, Gillespie doing enough to put him to his knees. John Huff looking to continue the run on that side. Mark Jones taken down by Gillespie and Jackson. And Halifax will look to do a containing job on Warrington. Tackle not made, the ball released, and it's Ian Knott who's put down by Harrison and Perrott. Now Sculthorpe, chip over the top, nobody at home. Amanga comes forward for it, takes it bravely, gets up and tries to make ground, but it good play by the Halifax fullback. Sculthorpe looking to kick on as Schuster tries to cut inside. Almost on halfway, and Jackson again doing the hard work for Halifax up the middle, and again he's making yards, not as many that time, but they all count. There's a big hit on Carl Gillespie. He's still got up and played it very quickly. Now Ceremony, Halifax's try scorer, looks for a way down the middle, playing at centre, played the second half there on Tuesday. Sutherwood losing that one. So Warrington on top in the scrums, 7-3, and Halifax on top in the handling errors, 6-2. Well, that perhaps a measure of Halifax's growing superiority in this first half. Obviously, the more possession you have, the more likely you are to make mistakes. We made one on that occasion, but we're well into injury time, or time added on in the first half. And this could be the last 6. Forster in the middle of the field. John Huff looking for runners. Mark Jones, the first man there. But Gillespie putting in a lot of tackles since he came on to replace Moriarty. Not letting the side down. Neither Perrott, Sutherwood or Carl Harrison. Big defensive effort perhaps Steve Sims a little disappointed that Halifax gave away the penalties, and there's a mistake now. Schuster has the pace to go. It's a good diving tackle that brings Schuster down, but Halifax with the ascendancy again, and long balls out here could produce an overlap on that far side, but Baldwin is trapped midfield by 3 Warrington defenders. Well, perhaps should have gone out wide on that occasion. Harrison driving forward, Sculthorpe holding him up till Harris gets there, but 2 men in the tackle, and Carl Harrison pointing at the goals for the attempt for Schuster before he even got off the ground. So a chance for Schuster to restore that 2-point lead for Halifax. Lots of time seemingly added on in the first half, and there didn't seem to be that many stoppages. But Schuster with a chance to put Halifax back in the lead, a lot further in from that attempt after Imoni's try, but he's already missed 1 penalty attempt. So he'll take his time over this one. He'll see the time on the clock if he looks round behind him to the other end of the ground. And he must see that it's 4 minutes gone in time added on. But this to send Halifax in at the break, leading if he's successful. There's a long look at the post. Denied a possible try by an ankle tap moments earlier, and Schuster has missed again. Well, an off night. He's kicking in difficult conditions in a mud bath at Wilderspool, but Halifax are better in defence. Warrington went close with Forster. A video replay showed no try, and then just 2 minutes later, Asser-Imoni's try needed another look at by the referee, but there was no doubt about it after a good hand on by Moriarty. Imoni going in at the corner. Warrington took the lead with Yestin Harring's penalty after 15 minutes. The try from Imoni put Halifax into the lead. Harris again with a penalty 3 minutes from the half time. Schuster failing with 2, but Steve Sims must be a happier man with Halifax and Warrington tied at the break at Wilderspool, 4 points all. Slight mishap in the electrical department. Picture back, second half underway. A change of strip for some of the Warrington players, but Amanga is not waiting to admire it. It's a good ball back inside to Moana. He's looking for support, gets it away to Schuster, and a good start to the second half for Halifax. It's ended with them in the Warrington half. Perritt gets caught midfield, but Halifax and Warrington level at the break. Baldwin and Rowley, Halifax substitute coming on for the second half. Paul Rowley missed the defeat at Castleford. Dropped from the team which was beaten at Oldham last Friday, but back in the fold now, and looking perhaps to exploit some gaps, because despite the conditions it's been a fairly fast flowing game of rugby. Defence is on top, but both sides not afraid to pass the ball about, and I think Paul Rowley will have replaced Roy Sutherwood at half time. Sutherwood getting through a heap of work in the first half. So perhaps Steve Option opening up his options for a bit more expansive rugby in the second half. This pitch suffered, of course, with that academy game earlier. The Halifax youth going down, not adapting to the conditions at all. Chip through, Imoni's covering it, but he's lost it, so it's going to be 6 more to Warrington. So from a bright opening, it's turned a bit grim as Warrington go on the attack again, and Halifax will have their defence tested severely, I'm sure, by Warrington side looking to retake the lead, but Shelford's brought down 10 metres out, and it's certainly cheered up the Warrington supporters as they start cheering their side on. Stood behind those posts that Warrington are attacking. Harris looks for the gap, loses it. Moriarty's back on. So the mistake from Warrington lets Halifax off. And Moana brings it away. Not many yards. Perhaps playing the safety. Okoku. Tracked by 3. Bit of a facial from Sculthorpe. Rowley from acting half. Inside to Jackson. Big game for Halifax as Wayne Jackson made yards up the middle constantly. Rowley interfered with, that must be an offside. And Jones perhaps looking on that occasion not to go to the sin bin, quite blatantly impeding Paul Rowley. But a very low penalty count. 2 to Halifax and 2 to Warrington. So a free-flowing game with no malice as yet anyway. And 4 points all. Halifax looking for the first league points. And Warrington under the guidance of John Doré and Alex Murphy back in the game after well, it seems like a long spell that Murphy's been out of the game. Doré, a former Halifax coach of course, before his stint at Wigan. And I'm sure he would have loved to have gone to Central Park on Monday and come away with the 2 points, but it wasn't to be. As Wigan bit back after that mauling by St Helens on Good Friday. But Halifax again in that Warrington quarter, and it's Wayne Jackson again that's driving them forward. And only from acting half. Southernwood still on, stretching for that one. So perhaps it's Craig Dean that's gone off at half time. Schuster pops it up for Amanga. It didn't work on that occasion, but the ball bounced up kindly to Ilange. Takes matters into his own hands and drags 3 Warrington defenders with him. As Warrington try to slow the ball down, Rowley goes forward. Picked up by Shelford at the back, 5 metres away from the Warrington line. Harris slipping as the rain begins to settle on that far side. And Jones having 2 takes at that one, getting it at the second. Looked as though he was going to lose it. John Huff from acting half. Halifax moving up very quickly. Good tackling by Halifax. Moriarty that time moving in to bring down Sculthorpe. Paul Cullen moves it out wide, but there's another error. Amoni picks it up for Halifax, so perhaps the pressure telling on Warrington. Baldwin pops it up for Okoku. They scored a try against Oldham, did Abby Okoku. And it's put Halifax 10 metres away as Harrison looks for his first try since the home win over Castleford back in September last year. Southernwood, but the interception from Forster. Forster's got the pace, he's getting on a bit, but there's nobody going to catch him. And Forster is going to intercept and go the full length of the field, and that is just what Warrington needed. Warrington turning defence into attack. And Forster, for all his 34 years, still had the pace. He was already on his way. The Halifax defence had to turn, so Forster did have a start, but the start was enough, and it carried him the full length of the field. And racing the full length of the field, nobody with it getting within 20 metres of him. It's left Harris 5 metres in from the touchline. 2 successful penalties. Added to that, a successful conversion, and it moves Warrington into double figures and 6 points in the lead at 10 points to 4. Well, Halifax have come from behind once already. They've got to do it again now. Only this time it's from 6 points down, and they need a quick reply. But Stuart Cummins is going to pull them back. He's seen an offside, and I don't think Messrs Doré and Murphy will be too happy about giving away the penalty on the halfway line. But they do say that when a team's just scored, that's when the concentration slips a bit. Well, it did on that occasion. They've conceded the penalty of Warrington, and Asa Ramone is given the duty of kicking it into touch, and has managed to get good distance for Halifax, 30 metres away from the Warrington try line, looking for a quick reply to that Forster try. Perry quickly hammered to the ground, making only 2 metres. Now Jackson, he'll go forward, taking men with him. He's still on his feet and still trying to go forward, and there's an hand round to make sure he goes down. Roll it from acting half again to Baldwin, looking for the gap. Well, there wasn't really one there. Sculthorpe and off, looking at referee Stuart Cummins for something. Moana stepping back inside. Still no change out of the Warrington defence, moving up quickly, making it count. Rowley injecting some pace from acting half to within 5 metres of the Warrington line. Southernwood to Moana, too far away for the pass. He's tried to get it away now, and the mistakes come again, and it was Foster that picked him up, but there's no room for him this time to get away. So Halifax looking to defend. Good tackle by Perrott, but the ball goes backwards. Harris picks it up to continue the run. John Huff again looking at Stuart Cummins. Risky pass in front of your own post, putting pressure on Sculthorpe. Jones, big Welshman. Baldwin and Harrison with a tackle. Halifax moving up quickly, and they've done a good containing job on Warrington with this set of 6. Pressure needs to be on the kicker. It's not forthcoming, and the kick goes deep into Halifax territory, and Twilange will run it back, but the chase is good from Warrington, and Amanga takes up the acting half position. Makoku can't find a way through. Halifax perhaps looking a little bit slow from the acting half there, although there will still have been players coming back into position. Perrott does well to keep hold of that one and sets up Amanga. No way through the middle for the Halifax fullback. Rowley, short ball to Harrison, going at full pace away from 2. Shelford around Harrison's head. Harrison doing well to keep hold of it. Looking out wide again. Drop off ball, Amona on the inside, pass away to Southernwood. Southernwood to Perrott, but Perrott not making any ground forward, running back into trouble in the shape of Gary Chambers. Rowley looking to go from acting half again. Warrington defence moving in quickly this time, the 5th tackle. Halifax still just over 30 metres from the Warrington line. Amone with a kick has found space, he'll force Penny back, but just too much weight behind the kick, forces it dead. It'll be a tap on the 20. And John Huff is looking for the first runner, and that will be Mark Forster, the try scorer. John Huff quickly from acting half, and I've noticed at the start of this second half, John Huff, Mark Forster, Sculthorpe, all seeming to be looking at the referee and claiming the arming and little bits of things here and there, but they don't need it this time as Warrington go on the attack. Richard and Are will score for Warrington. 2 tries in 6 minutes, and it could spell disaster for Halifax. Left open on the outside, Warrington taking advantage, and Are going from 30 or 40 metres out and extending the lead to 14 points to 4. Well, it worked from the other side of the field from Foster's try. Will it work from this side? 5 metres in from the touchline. And it is an uphill battle for Halifax now. 10 points down, the kick still to come. That one never really getting off the ground, so 10 points enough for Warrington to leave Halifax needing to score 2 converted tries to steal this game. And it's not going to be easy in front of a partisan Wilderspool crowd. And Yestin Harris kicks deep and long. And Halifax are now up against it. Martindale is on. Probably for his handling skills. Another one of the Lions players. Played last night, did Mick Martindale, as did Carl Gillespie. So 2 games in 2 days. It's a lot to ask. Have the replacements for Halifax got anything left? Well, there's still a long time to go. Rowley almost away, taking Halifax back into the Warrington half. Kick forward, but again too much weight behind it. That one is going to disappear over the dead ball line. Halifax must rely on the defence, which was good in the first half, but it's crumbling in the second. In the opening 9 or 10 minutes, still plenty of time. Sculthorpe taken down by Harrison. John Huff to Mark Hilton, and Hilton being driven back. Great tackle from Asaramone. John Huff from acting half. Harrison there again, put himself about a lot tonight. Carl Harrison, the Halifax captain. Good tackling again from Perrott and Moriarty. Welsh teammates, of course, in the World Cup. And Martindale takes the kick, sets off back into the arms of Yestin Harris. Abia Koku, perhaps not ideal conditions for a winger tonight, but Halifax advancing steadily forward. Here goes Jackson again, just hauled down by John Huff and Mark Jones. Rolling from acting half, looking for the gap. Plenty of attention for Rowley. He's making yards forward. Mark Jones looks to be blowing a bit as he got up. Perrott down the middle, using the referee there, Mark Perrott, to good advantage. Halifax needing the try. 5 metres away, Moana back inside to Baldwin, but Baldwin brought down. Still 3 or 4 metres away. Rowley. Halifax look to move it out wide. Amanga's in the line. The little chip through, the chase is on. And Ari forced to kick it dead under pressure from Twilangi. And so Halifax will get the possession from the drop out under the post. 6 more tackles to put pressure on the Warrington line. And Harris from underneath the post. Good kick, gets it almost up to halfway. Moriarty takes it from Amanga, and Moriarty drives back towards that Warrington defence and put down eventually, and is not happy with the challenge from Sculthorpe. Makoku in field into the heavy going. Rowley to Harrison, charging forward. Harrison, knee in the face from Cullen, but Harrison up quickly. Martindale running the angles, looking for support. Schuster loses it. Twilangi didn't, he had to go down to pick it up. Martindale again, going from acting half, one-handed out to Twilangi. But Twilangi unable to find a way through. 5th tackle again for Halifax, 10 metres away from that Warrington line. Rowley will chip it through. It's come back off a Warrington player. Perrott opts to kick over the top towards the corner. It's put pressure on Sculthorpe, so Warrington will be forced to drop out again from under the posts. So another 6 tackles for Halifax to put the pressure on and perhaps reply to those 2 tries from Forster and Henare early in the second half. And it's Yestin Harris again who will kick out. Amanga underneath it. This time has Perrott in support. Perrott with a step, but not going anywhere, only down. Courtesy of a tackle from Cullen and Huff. Moriarty looking for the soft or the ground outside, but Okoku losing it. And handling errors creeping up for Halifax. I've got it down as 9. Well, it was a good pass from Moriarty. So Warrington will come away from their own line again. Lee Penny is tackled by Amanga, and it leaves Halifax in a vulnerable position at the back with the full-back up into the line, making the extra or the full quarter in defence. Harrison tackling again. 14-4 down, that's good pressure, but the tackle not made. It is now with Harrison bringing Jones down. Halifax looking to move up quickly. Slip ball interception, and the Money could be away, or is it in the Money? It's Twilangi mixing them 2 up all night. Perrott loses his marker. Moana, chances here. Harrison gets it out the back door. Rowley losing ground. Halifax. Rowley looking for a way around the outside, gives it to Twilangi, but no room to move for Twilangi. 15 metres out Halifax. Jackson will take it forward. A bit more close marking this time on Jackson. Martindale around the back to Moriarty, but never really into his stride. Amone, Martindale the chip through, nobody chasing it. Well, the 3rd tackle, Martindale kicks through, wasted possession for Halifax. So back to the 20 metre line with John Huff to Mark Forster. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience on the part of Mick Martindale, kicking early in the tackle count. And his players, the team members not reading the situation. The kick was good if somebody could have been there, but it went over the dead ball line, and now Halifax give away a penalty. So the Halifax defence that was solid in the first half has let in 2 tries so far in the second half. There's still enough time for them to bring it back, but not if they're giving away the penalties. Warrington are back in the Halifax half with Mark Jones. John Huff acting half to Mark Hilton. Hilton trying to go through. The tug from Perrott finally puts him down. Martindale and Moana was there. John Huff from acting half, thrown to the ground by Moana, but Warrington advancing, and now with Sculthorpe going for the glory, taking Warrington to within 10 metres of the Halifax try line. So Halifax under pressure. Shelford to Harris, out to Penny having to stop, turns it back inside to Shelford. Chip through from Shelford. Mistake behind the Halifax line, and that mistake is going to allow the try. He's going to call for the replay. Stuart Cummings is going to call for the replay on video, but I don't think there's any argument about that one. The mistake allowing Warrington in for the 3rd try of the second half. And that now could put the match out of Halifax's reach. Stuart Cummins is having a smile about it. So it's not up to me, it's up to the third official. But I don't think the third official will have any trouble making his mind up. It looked a good try. Well, it's not being given. I'm surprised at that because it didn't look too bad on the monitors. And Warrington, 10 yards, are supposed to be 10 yards back. Well, I hope they don't come and fit a carpet at my house because they were nowhere near on that occasion. So Halifax let off, still a chance. 14 points to 4 down, good running by Moriarty. Just tying up Sculthorpe again. So Sculthorpe obviously just perhaps having a little dig or two, I don't know. But it seems that when he does make a tackle, the recipients of the tackle just like to have a quick look to see who's gone in. Now Martindale running out wide, he's not finding any room on that far side. Rowley moves into the acting half position. Gillespie, kick on the last tackle, crossfield kick. There needs to be some pressure on, but there's too much in the kick again, it goes dead. And Warrington are looking to come back and play it quickly while Halifax get back into position. Well, there's a complaint there. John Huff had to run the ball out. Jackson downs him by the collar of the shirt. And Sculthorpe continues it for Warrington. And Ari, the try scorer, looking for a way through, makes it up to halfway. Good yards made. Warrington on halfway, good tackle there by Wayne Jackson on Mark Hilton. Warrington looked to move it out wide, now straightening up. So Warrington attack again, the last tackle, they go for the kick, the safety of the touchline into the Halifax quarter. So Halifax back in their own half of the field, and the Warrington defence holding out since they scored the 2 tries. They've got that 10-point gap, the 10-point cushion. Tuolangi coming in off the wing, gets through the first tackler. Moriarty running strongly. Harris across to slow him down. Well, Jones completes the tackle. Rowley looking for the quick play. Halifax looking for a way through with Amone. Rowley inside to Moana. Martindale turns it back inside to Schuster, but Schuster can't find any space. Close passing. Harrison turning in the tackle, releases the pass. Rowley in trouble. Manages to get away from it, held by the boot, steps out again, does Paul Rowley, and does well to make good yards for Halifax. On that far touchline, short ball, but Tuolangi wrestled into touch on that far side. Rudd taking Tuolangi over the touchline. Paul Rowley up fast from acting half. Gillespie making sure that Warrington hooker John Huff loses a couple of yards on that occasion. As Halifax try to put the pressure on, and Warrington look to relieve it with Jones. Well tackled by Harrison and Martindale. And Ari looking for a way through. Jackson there. Excellent tackle by Wayne Jackson. Sculthorpe looking for a gap. Almost through. Harrison does enough to put him down. John Huff playing it quickly. And Warrington looking for the touchline again, happy just to keep Halifax in their own quarter of the field. So Martindale brushes away the first tackler, but can't do anything with the ball. Moana to Schuster. Schuster goes forward, but not far enough for Halifax. Okoku steps out of the first one, throws the dummy, and then throws possession away. So plenty of handling errors now. Both teams perhaps tiring a little bit. Fairly fast flowing rugby all through this game despite the conditions, but carrying that extra stone of mud and sand around your boots takes its toll eventually. But at the moment it's Warrington leading 14 points to 4 with just over 10 minutes to go. Sculthorpe now a chance for Warrington on that far side, and somehow Toa Koa-Love manages to keep all of the possession. Well, Stuart Cummins, controversial decision, because unless he's given it for the forward pass, it was in fact Richard Inare who juggled with the ball. Well, he's given it for a knock on. Well, Inare never lost the possession, but Stuart Cummins, the arbiter, and they have to play by the referee's decision. Okoku back on this left wing, and not making much ground. Halifax still in their own half. Moriarty trying to go forward, gets one out of the back door to Martindale. Gillespie sets off, centre field. Carl Gillespie showing a bit of pace up towards halfway. Another penalty to Halifax, that's holding down. And Rowley will set off the Acton half and make great yards into the Warrington half of the field. Halifax needing a score. 10 points down. Harrison turning in the tackle as ever, looking to release, unable to on that occasion. Rowley to Martindale. Martindale going forward, one out the back door to Jackson. Jackson can't lose Hilton, he almost loses possession. Halifax pressing forward, looking for a grandstand finish with Moana, but brought down by Huff and Sculthorpe, front of the Warrington post. Paul Rowley to Carl Harrison. Carl Harrison brought down on the 5th tackle, just 5 metres away from the Warrington line. Struggling to get to his feet. Jackson on the drop-off ball. Can he reach the line? He has done. Wayne Jackson's got it down for Halifax. No need for the video replay this time. Stuart Cummins points at the spot, and that's just reward for Wayne Jackson, who's worked hard and driven the ball in all night for Halifax. Taking it off the drop-off pass from Rowley. And Warrington falling for the sucker punch on the last tackle. Jackson held up, managed to release his arm from the tackle and put the ball down to bring Halifax back within 6 points at 14 points to 8. So the game not over yet. Schuster with 2 misses. This one will bring Halifax back to within 4 points. This a pressure kick for Schuster. There's less than 10 minutes to go. No problem this time for Schuster, so it's cut the lead to 14 points to 10. Schuster's first successful conversion after the try from Parker. Rowley had called the move from the acting half position, and Wayne Jackson, when it looked as though it was going to be held up, managed to put the ball down and really set it up for a grandstand finish. Can Halifax steal the 2 points? They won here by 16 points to 14 last season. 8 minutes left, and Halifax will now try to contain Warrington as they use the big Welshman Jones to drive forward. Harrison there again with a tackle, and suddenly Halifax's defence has a little bit more ferocity in it. Jackson and Gillespie that time. John Huff from acting half, looking for the way through. Harrison over the top. There's another Halifax man down there. I think it's Wayne Jackson. Well, John Huff milking it for all it's worth, that one. But Warrington will get the penalty. And Carl Harrison being spoken to by Stuart Cummins. Well, I don't think there was any malice in that one from Jackson. John Huff, a small man. Harrison had to make the tackle. Warrington going for the tap. Sculthorpe driving forward over halfway. So Warrington now looking for the points that could steal it or secure the victory. Harris almost breaking through. Has taken Warrington back to the Halifax quarter. Amanga throwing himself around Toa Coe Love. Illegally say the Warrington supporters. But Martindale will give away the penalty, which Harris will surely put over from this position. 3 from 4 for the young Welsh standoff tonight. This one, a simple one, just to the right hand side of the post. The penalty for holding down against Mick Martindale. And I think Steve Sims might have something to say about that. That's 2 penalties that have taken Warrington down to put Harris in this position with 5 minutes to go. And Harris looking to kick his 3rd penalty of the evening. It's still only a 6-point cushion. Have Halifax the character to pull those 6 points back in the last 5 minutes? They looked as though they were going to be dead and buried at one point with those 2 early tries in the second half. Harris just sneaking that one inside the right hand upright. But Halifax, of course, will get possession from the restart. And Iestyn Harris isn't going to be in a rush to get the ball back into play. Well, normally you would see players, and Harris has disappearing back towards his own try line for this one, for the kick. Safe hands from Amanga, inside to Gillespie, but the chasers are there for Warrington. Quick play the ball. Paul Eighton, pair of fresh legs for Halifax. Coming on, making the ground forward. Simon Baldwin almost through. It was just Jones around the ankles that stopped him escaping the tackle. Carl Harrison almost breaking the line, up to halfway, gets up and plays it quickly. Rowley goes from acting half. There's a Warrington man offside there. 5th tackle. Halifax are back in the Warrington half, but a long way from that try line. Moana the chip over the top, trying to put Penny under pressure. In fact, Toa Coe Love, but he deals with it very calmly. And Warrington will try and bring it away again, and Halifax must be careful not to give away the penalties going into the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lee Penny from acting half, running sideways or diagonal up towards halfway. John Huff brings on Mark Hilton. Hilton only making another 4 or 5 metres. John Huff now to Jones. Jones second down by Harrison. John Huff from acting half. Well, they must be nearing the last tackle. Paul Eighton wrestling with Sculthorpe. Eighton, his arm trapped underneath Sculthorpe, and Sculthorpe wasn't going to be rushing to getting up. As again, Shelford looks for the safety of the touchline for Warrington. So 2 minutes to go. Halifax with a scrum. And 80 metres to go to the Warrington try line to perhaps steal a draw. Martindale at scrum half to Amone. running forward but not very far. Warrington defenders there in numbers. Moana to Schuster, but Schuster sucked in easily there by Mark Hilton. Gillespie looks for the pass outside. Halifax are making yards forward but not as many as they'd like. Rowley inside to Harrison. Harrison will look for the support. Martindale's there but he's clamped down. He's looking to release the ball but he can't get it away. Good tackling by the Warrington defence, clamping the ball. Baldwin running into trouble. He'll try and release. He does. Paul Lighton going forward, trying to spin out of the tackle, but Halifax stuck in their own half on the 5th tackle. Kick and chase, looking for the space. Pressure on from the Halifax chasers. It's over the try line. Who will get there first? It'll be Forster. And Abby Okoku has tackled Forster but has been penalised for offside. Forster with a big grin on his face. Well, Stuart Cummins was stood a long way off then, and Warrington surely now just going to play out the time on the clock. Harris calling the shots before putting the ball into touch. And just a lapse in defence early in the second half, allowing Foster and Richard and Aridos 2 tries for Warrington. And Halifax's indiscretion allowing 2 penalties for Harris in front of the post means that Halifax are looking like they're staring the 4th defeat of the season in the face. But it's been a much improved performance, especially in defence. They've been criticised for the defensive work. It was very solid last season. It earned them a 3rd place in the Centenary Championship, but it hasn't done enough tonight. 16 points to 10, the Warrington lead. There's not much time left on the clock, and Warrington again look for the safety of that touchline. Into the last half minute. One last chance perhaps for Halifax. Martindale to Moana. Amanga in the line. Warrington defence moving across quickly. Okoku trying to conjure up a little bit of magic out wide, but the forwards getting across. Slowing the play down there. Sculthorpe to good effect. Wayne Jackson can't get through this time. He's looking to get the ball away, but there's 4 men around him. The hooter sounds. The look on Jackson's face there says it all. They've worked hard of Halifax, but it just wasn't enough. It's a much improved performance. They came here as underdogs, tipped to lose by at least 20 points. It's a better performance in defence. The conditions not right for attacking rugby in virtually a sandpit and a mud bath down the middle of the Warrington field. Cullen consoling Abby Okoku, but at the end Warrington will breathe a sigh of relief. 2 tries in the second half sealed it for them from Forster and Hanare. Harris with a penalty, with 3 penalties and a conversion and 1 miss. Tries from Asaramone, Wayne Jackson for Halifax, just the 1 kick from Schuster, and the 2 failures means that Warrington have taken the 2 points at Wilderspool by 16 points to 10.